Yeah, this is a follow-up. I'm still working on the same song. A few things that I'm learning about Claude still, and that is that for sure, for sure, I thought paying a monthly subscription was going to get me out of Dodge, but it doesn't. You're still going to get wiped out. It's all an economy of messages and stuff like that. So flowery language, which unfortunately I'm it's a predisposition that I just don't know how to work around it. It's going to cost me dearly. I'm going to get blocked for an hour here or 2 hours there or whatever. But anyway, that's something to be factored in. Hopefully that further AI will come into play over the next few years or months and then years, and we'll get around that problem. But right now, we are limited to some extent. So I'm doing this video because there was a question I got on another video about how do I think that Claude is working best in the integration with Ableton. Well, for me, because I'm probably I don't really care too much about controlling Ableton because I've got a killer app here with Machina. That's the Ableton script that embeds into a controller editor from Native Instruments, and you can control. I'll do a video on that. There's plenty of them out there, but it's really, really super duper. I've got push and push 2, and push 2 is great. I love my my Mackie MCU Pro. I dig that one, and I dig this little fella here with the colored lights. It's an MVAVE out of what's that company called? Temu, and I paid $50 for it for another application altogether. Anyway, some dude called Minute, sorry, he's out there online. He wrote a killer script for it. I'll try to find the guy's link and put it in the description below. He wrote a killer script for it, and this is the absolute bee's knees for Ableton controllers, something that Machina doesn't do, something that Push 2 doesn't do. Unbelievably, because this machine is around about 12 or 13 years, or 14 or 15 years old, unbelievably, the Mackie protocol does have switches for it. And before I get into what I'm going to talk about today with Claude, what am I actually talking about? Why am I jumping up and down about this little baby here? And I'll tell you why. Because the script, if there's anything I hate with keyboards, as in typing keyboards, the fact is 2-finger shortcuts. That is a wet blanket. 2-finger shortcuts of any type. And, you can argue until you're blue in the face. I'm not going to buy it. 2-finger shortcuts are a buzzkill big time. Anything to do with a 1-finger shortcut will work. And what this one does, and nothing else does it except for the Mackie protocol here on the MCU Pro. But here it's even just handier for me to get to. I can reach to here as opposed to going over there. And all it is it's just simply this. The two killers in Ableton are what do you call them? The browser, which I'll get to by going here, okay? The browser, and then the bottom screen, which I'll get to by going there. Mouse, the whole nine. I don't want that. You got to use a mouse. I don't want to use a mouse. Then there's the shortcuts, but the shortcuts, I don't know, is it Command B and Command something or I don't know what the other one is. I don't know. Check this out. Bang, 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 de-bang, bang. Oh, wait a minute. How about this? Bang, 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 bang. 1 finger, and you keep it on moving. You don't have to worry about if you're working in a dull light, as I'm working in now. It's quite dark here now, and I don't like to work in brilliantly lit kind of environments. It's just bugs my eyes. So anyway, this little fella here does it all. It's got some killer apps. It's a video in and of itself, but there's this guy called Manushe who's already done it, and I'll put a link. I'll try to remember to drop a link in. Okay, so the point of what I'm doing today is, somebody asked me, just to repeat myself, what is it that I really think is good about Claude with Ableton? And it's the collaborative kind of process. As I think I started out that rant by saying it's not the actual fundamental controls of Ableton. I can get around that pretty easily with all these things that I've got going. But it's a collaborative kind of thing. And at the moment, if I come across to my arrange view, I've got this section of this song, bars 30 to bar 46, and it's called the vamp. I've just called it vamp because that's basically what it is. It's if I show you the whole song just for a second, you can see we're at this point here, so we're already about 1:40, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm already done with the pre-chorus and chorus if the song is going to be that structured in that way, and I want the music to just sort of flow on a little bit. Well, what I've got, I'll just mute that at the moment. What I've got is this vamp at the moment. It's very simple. I've an A flat and B flat bass lick, and it goes like this. So that's what's there at the moment. Now, my concern was that already Claude has helped me get this dark synth in play, and I'll play this to you. And this was built around the idea that I wanted something sort of an atmospheric kind of synth, almost, and I think I used these words, something in harmony with 10cc's I'm Not In Love, all those voices and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, we come up with this one. There's a couple of other ones that are devised as well. And for this particular one, its recommendation was that I come over to Contact and that I use, I sort of clicked on that, just a little bit of a delay there, that I use something from Farlight. Now, I actually clicked on, opened up Farlight, and I used the very first, at this stage, used the very first preset, The Alchemist. And I haven't done anything else with it at this stage. So many things I could do with that beyond there. That was something that was recommended. If I went back into this conversation here, we could find that Claude and I had this conversation about what kind of instrument to use. And Claude knows that I've got Complete, Ultra, or whichever one that I've got. And it can identify the instruments. And as you saw in the previous video, it also knows patches from various instruments. Now, I wanted to put in a Hammond sound through this vamp, but that I really didn't know what chords would be working best. So what I did then was just simply go through and play the chords myself, just sort of fiddled around on the keyboard, and I come up with this. Sorry if I can get out of solo for a second. This is going to be a very short video too, by the way. So that's what I came up with. Now this is a really simple vid. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to remember that Claude does not work in arrangement view, so I'm going to double it again, and do that, and then I'm basically just going to Command J these little babies and put them all as one clip. I'll copy that, come over to my session view, and we are working here in Vamp. So I've already set up Vamp now as index slot 5, but actually index 4 in scenes. And I'll put this clip here into index 4 in the B3 track. Now, I don't know what chords I just played. I could probably work it out if I wanted to, but, I just can't be bothered right now. So What I'm going to do is go index. And what did I say? It's always index is back from the slot. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's index 4. So I'm going to go index 4, track 9. I'll B3. Can you tell me the chords that I have played in this clip? Bang. Let's just see what comes up. So from time to time, we have to go in. This is a first time experience. If it's already been done, it's been done, and I don't have to do this. So all I'm going to do now is come over to Terminal. I know I've got Terminal open, but I'll come in this way and do it through Spotlight. Terminal, bang, here we go. It'll open up over here. All these notes here, and I think if you've watched the other video, you know that this is just MIDI data. Let's just see if it comes up now with what we're looking for, and it does. And I know this is a long... There's other ways of doing this, of course. We can do this in Cubase, and we can do it in Studio One, Studio Pro, I don't know, and maybe Logic or whatever, I'm not sure. But we'll just put this in anyways. B flat minor, E flat major, B flat 7, and B flat. Now, what I'm going to do, it's asked me here, direct question, what would you like to do with this? Build something to complement it or use the analysis to inform the next section? What I'm going to do here is go, now this is where the creativity, not from Claude, but from the composer, in this case me or you, if you're doing whatever you're doing. Me not being a terribly creative guy, I can't think of what it is that I want. I want it to do something. What is it that I want? And what I'm going to do is go, okay, I know what I'm going to do. Can we build a minimal piano progression? No, minimal piano melody at this stage. Melody with broken chords. Now, I can't think of the instrument that I want to use. It's in Contact. I'll have a quick look at it in just a quick look for it in just a minute. Can we build a minimal piano melody with broken chords with a reverberant piano? Emphasis on minimal and fitting the groove or rhythm of the vamp. Let's just see what it comes up with. Now, I already know that I've got an extra MIDI track, so I'm going to say, could write this clip. Okay. Can you write this clip, track 11, and 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 4? I can't remember which one it is. I'll go 4. Can you write this? See, track 11, which is over here, track 11, there's no clip slots used, so it doesn't really matter what clip I put it in, but I'll go index, track 11, and I'll go index 4. See what it comes up with. Track 11. Track 11 is default MIDI. All right, so it's doing its thing. This is, remember that I'm doing this to answer that question about how do I find it most useful. And this collaborative side of things, and I'm still I'm being a little bit slower than I would be if I'm working on my own, because I'm actually trying to set this up to make sure that it's clear to anyone who's watching this, when in fact it's pretty clear to me what it is that I'm doing. So done, piano vamp on track 11, index 4, 16 bars, bang, there it is there, piano vamp. Now, I haven't yet got the instrument in, so I'm not going to worry about the track name. Bars 1 to 8, extremely sparse. Let's open it up and have a look at it. Yeah, that's definitely the case. Extremely sparse, single notes only, widely spaced, never more than one note, and broken chord tones from the B flat minor, dropping and floating away. Velocities deliberately low, 40 to 55. These are meant to dissolve in reverb before the next note arrives. Bars 9 to 16. Very slightly more present, but still minimal. The broken chord movement becomes a little more purposeful. The B flat for top note appearing more as a melodic peak. Velocities. See, I find this stuff incredibly interesting. Stuff that we take for granted, that we sometimes don't articulate what it is that we're thinking about. We know what it is that we want to do, but sometimes it's good to be able to have someone tell you what it is that you're doing, or in fact, in this case, for AI to come back and, let's say, it's a diagnostic report on what it is that you've done. It's rhythmically offset, never landing squarely on a beat, always slightly off the grid, which is probably how I would want to play it anyway. I could have articulated that that's what I wanted it to be, wanted it to do, but I couldn't think of it at the time as I was put on the spot there. So they sit in the groove rather than marking time. Fantastic. Load a long reverb tail and keep the dry signal very low. Yeah, really, really cool. Now that last part, load a long reverb tail and keep the dry signal very low, preempts the idea that what I wanted to do was to bring in this instrument, because remember this MIDI track, you might not remember this but from the previous clip or video that I made, there's actually no instrument on it. And what I want to do is come over to Native Instruments, and we're going to come to Contact and load that in. And then what I want to bring in, I keep on, I thought I had the name of it, Ashlight. Ashlight was the piano that I wanted. And I'll just click on the generic sound. Now I might just go with that for the heck of it. You know, if you think about long reverb tail and keep the dry signal very low, well, you know, still may not be the sound. Just pull that away for a minute, and let's just have a listen to what we've got here. I'll solo what he's done so we can actually hear what it did. Why don't I put the bass with that? I'll do that another way. I'm liking that. I'll just put the bass in with just those two together and hit vamp. Bass sounds so corny like that. But again, this is all just layup stuff. Fine. Bring in the conga as well and just see what that's like. Aha! I'd already changed this on the track. This is something that I just haven't bothered to tidy up. I know that that's where it lies. But actually in the arrangement view, I've already done that. So the clip and the arrangement clip are a little bit different. Take that away for a second. All right, and I'm not saying that that is the sound that I really want, but what I will do is go over to here, tab that over, highlight the fact that I want to be on the arrangement view. I've got this MIDI track here, and I can paste that in, and there it is in the arrangement. And what I'll do, because even though we're in arranger view right now, session view will do this just as well. So I'll come over here very quickly. Can you change track 11 name? What's the instrument we're using? Is it Ashlight? just going to put it generically, yeah, to Ashlight. Again, I could do this myself, but you know, I spelled it incorrectly, so it's going to come in incorrect. But that's what I do all the time anyway. Ashlight, it's done it there as well. I wish it would change colors, but not there yet. And what I'll do is just simply make that the color that I want. Bang. Let's view the whole track. And that's it for today. I don't want to do any more. That's a short answer to that. Well, it's not probably as short as anyone is subjected to this, but you might want a shorter answer than what I've already given. But how do I find it useful? I find it really useful in the collaborative side of things. I'm really digging it. Yeah, it slows you down on the one hand, but that's only learn curve and the fact that I'm doing it as a video. If I'm working away here, I'm working every bit as quickly with Claude as I can be when I'm working by myself, thinking that there are sometimes I don't want to have to play certain things. I know how to play them. I know I can build up I have the skills to play keyboards, as many of us do, play guitar, play bass, drums, all that kind of stuff. But sometimes it's just easier to quickly get it done so that then you can go back, like a lot of the brass stuff that's going to come up, and that'll be in the next video, the trumpet parts in particular, well, exclusively trumpet, I can play myself. But with saxophone and trombone, etc., I can't do that. But or brass ensemble, of course, I can't really do that. But just getting the trumpet lines out so that I can actually get those notes worked out so that I can play those notes and then have those notes that I'm playing working with, let's say, I'll be probably using Contact's brass, whatever it's called. I can't think of the super duper brass instrument that they've got there. Brass something. It's brass. Yeah, we know that. All right, so yeah, there we are. And just to finalize where we're at today in this section of the vamp, I'm going to come off the chorus into the vamp, remembering that this is all built from work that I've been thinking through and playing in the case of guitar, but then collaborating with Claude, and this is where we're at the moment. Say there's no effects on the Hammond organ at the moment. That's just how it is at this stage, but it'll change in the end game, so to speak. Yeah, definitely change the patch on that one. Not quite the instrument yet, but I'll do that later. Bang. So that's where we're at today. Look, I hope you're finding this of some value. And I'm beyond caring if it's not of any value. I'm sort of playing here, having a bit of fun in the studio. To be honest, I'm trying to avoid completing songs that I know I have to get in there and complete, and anything that I can do that is semi-meaningful, that makes me think I'm engaged and doesn't involve going and completing the songs that I'm supposed to complete, is a win-win for me. All right, it's time for me to get on my training bike. I'm out of here, and if you've been watching, I appreciate, and if there's anything you think is valuable or you want to know more of, I am quite keen to offer any answers. If you think I can help you, then just shoot a question and I'll get onto it. Okay, see you. Bye.